So next I am going to discuss the solutions for the assignment in collisions. So I am going to start discussing the solutions for the questions in the assignment in collisions. So look at the question number 1. The masses MA and MB moving with velocities VA bar and VB bar in opposite directions collide elastically, and after the collision MA and MB move with velocities VB bar and VA bar respectively. Then the ratio MA by MB is. This problem is based on the first special case I have discussed in one-dimensional elastic collisions. As I discussed in the first special case in one-dimensional elastic collisions, the two colliding bodies have same mass. In a head-on elastic collision or one-dimensional elastic collision, if the two colliding bodies have same mass, then their velocities will be exchanged after the collision. That means if M2 equal to M1, then V1 equal to U2 and V2 equal to U1. So in the given problem, the initial velocities are VA and VB. That means U1 is VA, U2 is VB. The final velocities are given to be VB and VA. That means you can observe that V1 is equal to VB and V2 equal to VA. That means the final velocity of the first object A after collision is VB, same as the initial velocity of the second object B before collision. Final velocity of second object B after collision is given to be equal to VA bar, which is same as the initial velocity of the first object A before collision. That means you can observe that the velocities are exchanged or interchanged after collision. Therefore, you can conclude that the masses must be equal. The ratio of the masses is 1:1. So this question was given one of the previous Kerala entrance examination. So for the first question, third option is answer. So next I am going to discuss second question. Look at the second question. A body moving on a smooth horizontal floor makes a head-on elastic collision with a stationary body of mass 2.5 kg and then continues to move in its original direction with 1/4 of its initial velocity. The ratio of their speeds after the collision is. So here it is given that this problem is also based on one of the special cases in one-dimensional elastic collision. So it's given that the second body is initially at rest, and after the collision the first body moves with 1/4 of its initial velocity in the original direction. So we can write V1 equal to 1/4 of U1 and mass M1 of the first body is given to be 2.5 kg. You are asked to find ratio of their speeds after collision. So in a head-on elastic collision, the magnitude of relative velocity separation after collision is same as the magnitude of the relative velocity of approach before the collision. V2 minus V1 equal to U1 minus U2. Can substitute here U2 equal to 0 and V1 is given to be U1/4. So if you simplify this, you get V2 equal to U1 plus U1/4 or V2 equal to 5U1/4. So ratio of the speed of the first object and speed of second object after collision, that is ratio of the magnitude of velocity of first object and magnitude of velocity of second object after collision u1 by 4 divided by 5 u1 by 4. That is 1 by 5. So answer is 1:5. In case you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. But not only just solving the given problem, I would like to also do an additional discussion beyond this answer. Because same problem, same model problem may be given, and you may be asked to find the mass of second body, and you may not be asked to find the ratio of the speeds. So in case you are asked to find the mass of the second body after collision, in that case, you can use the formula for V1 in the case of head-on elastic collision. If the second body is initially at rest, you can write V1 equal to M1 minus M2 by M1 plus M2 into U1. So I can substitute V1 equal to 1/4 of U1 on the left side. Because it is given that after collision first body continues to move in the original direction with 1/4 of its initial velocity. So you can solve this equation for M2 in terms of M1. You can cancel U on both sides and cross multiply and simplify it. So you can simplify it here, you will get M2 equal to, try to simplify it yourself. M2 will get 3 by 5 times M1. So M1 is 2.5 kg. So you get M2 equal to 1.5 kg. But of course, in the given problem, you are not asked to find M2. You are asked to find the ratio of V1 and V2, which is 1:5. In case you are asked to find M2, you have to write the other calculation. If you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution. So for question number 2, which I just now discussed, second option is the answer. See the next question, question number 3. Consider the following statement A and B. Identify the correct choice in the given answers. In a one-dimensional perfect elastic region between two bodies of equal masses, the bodies merely exchange their velocities after collision. That is true because this we have discussed in one of the special case, in the first special case in one-dimensional elastic collisions. We have discussed that if the two bodies have the same mass, then the velocities will be exchanged or interchanged after collision. We can write V1 equal to U2 and V2 equal to U1. So first statement is true. Second statement, if a lighter body at rest suffers perfectly elastic collision with a heavy, very heavy body moving with certain velocity, after collision both travel the same velocity. This is not true. In one of the special cases I have discussed, if second body is initially at rest, then we can write V1 equal to M1 minus M2 by M1 plus M2 into U2. And if the second body, which is initially at rest, has the negligible mass, is much lighter than the first body, then you can neglect M2 compared to M1. Then you get V1 to be equal to, should be U1. Then V1 will be nearly equal to U1. That means the first body continues to move with the same velocity. But velocity of second body, and one of special cases I have discussed, You can write 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1. Then u2 is 0. So if m2 is negligibly small compared to m1, you can neglect m2 compared to m1, the denominator. So 2m1 by m1 becomes 2. So v2 will be 2u1. That means if the lighter body which is at rest undergoes elastic collision with a heavy body in motion, then after the collision, the heavier body in motion continues to move in the same direction almost with the same velocity. But the lighter body will start running twice faster or twice the velocity of the heavier body. So they don't travel with equal velocities after collision in the statement B. So statement B is wrong. Statement A is true. So statement A is correct and B is wrong. That means third option is answer. See the question number 4. This also I have discussed in the theory part. In a one-dimensional elastic collision between two bodies of equal masses. As I already told you that if in one-dimensional elastic collision between two bodies of equal masses, the velocities will be interchanged or exchanged after collision. So m2 equal to m1, then v1 equal to u2. Or you can also write m1 v1 equal to m2 u2. That means final momentum of, because m1 and m2 are equal. That is final momentum of m1 is equal to initial momentum of m2. And v2 equal to u1, because the velocities are exchanged or interchanged after the collision. In the case of one-dimensional elastic collision, if the two colliding bodies have same mass, so same thing can be written as m2 v2 equal to m1 u1, because m1 and m2 are equal. m2 is the final momentum of second body after collision is equal to initial momentum of the first body before collision. That means you can also say that if the one-dimensional elastic collision, if the two colliding bodies have same mass, then their linear momenta are interchanged or exchanged. The same way you can write final kinetic, if v1 equal to u2, then half m1 v1 square is equal to half m2 u2 square. And half m2 v2 square is equal to half m1 v1 square, because masses are equal. And v2 equal to u1 and v1 equal to u2. That means final kinetic energy of m1 after collision is equal to initial kinetic energy of m2 before collision. The final kinetic energy of second mass after collision is equal to initial kinetic of the first mass before collision. That means you can say that in the one-dimensional elastic collision, the two colliding bodies have same mass, even their kinetic energies are also interchanged. So all the above is the correct answer. That is, fourth option should be the answer. See the question number 5. A steel ball of radius 2 centimeter is initially at rest on a horizontal frictionless surface. It is struck head-on by another steel ball of radius 4 centimeter, traveling with a velocity of 81 centimeter per second. Calculate the velocities of the two balls after the collision. The word velocities is typed twice here. Assume the collision to be elastic. So the first body is initial at rest. So you can take initial velocity of the first body is 0. And you have to find the ratio of the mass of the two bodies. Ratio of the mass of the two bodies. The initial velocity of second body is given to 81 centimeter per second. Let us find the ratio of the masses. Both the balls are made up of steel. So you can assume that both the balls are made up of same material, therefore same density. They have same density. So mass of the first ball is equal to volume of the first ball into density. Volume of the first ball can be written as 4 by 3 pi r1 cube, where r1 is the radius of first ball. Mass m2 of second ball you can write 4 by 3 pi r2 cube, where R2 is the radius of the second ball. Rho is the density of steel. Both the balls are made up of steel or same material, therefore density is same. So ratio of the masses of the two balls is equal to cube of the ratio of the radii. The radius of the first ball is 2 centimeter. The radius of the second ball is 4 centimeter. You can simplify this. You get m1 by m2 equal to 1 by 8, or m2 is 8 times m1. So in a one-dimensional elastic collision, the final loss of the first ball is given by V1 equal to m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Here initial loss of the first ball is 0, therefore this term will vanish, become 0. Can substitute only second term exists. So V1 can be written as 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Can now substitute m2 equal to 8 times m1, or you can directly substitute in later. So V1 you can write 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. The final velocity of second ball, write 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into u2. In this problem, initial velocity u1 is of the first ball is 0, therefore this term will vanish. So you get V2 equal to m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 whole multiplied by u2. So here you can substitute here, m2 is 8 times m1. First, if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can copy the solution of the problem, so that I will be able to continue the calculation part. In case you need more time to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and take your time. But I have not completed solving the problem. I would like to continue it after I finish copying up to this step. So if u1 is 0, you get v1 equal to 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into u2. Here m2 is 8 times m1. So you get 16 m1 by 9 m1 into u2. m1 gets cancelled. So v1 is 16 by 9 times u2. 16 by 9, u2 is 81 centimeter per second. So you get v1 equal to 144 centimeter per second. That is one of the answers. And v2, if u1 is 0, you have got, as I discussed here, v2 is equal to m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into u2. Can substitute m2 is 8 times m1. Can simplify this yourself. You get v2 equal to 7 by 9 times u2. u2 is the initial loss of second ball, that is 81 centimeter per second. So you get v2 equal to 63 centimeter per second. That is the answer for velocity of second ball. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. Next, I want to solve the same problem by the alternate method also, because some of you may not be able to remember the long expressions which I have written for V1 and V2 in terms of U1, U2 and masses in the case of one-dimensional elastic collision. So I'd like to discuss the alternate procedure also. So now I am going to solve the same problem by the alternate method. Next, I am going to solve the same problem by the alternate method. So of course, even in the alternate method, you have to first find the ratio of the masses. That is M1 by M2 you have to find. That means even in the alternate method, you have to first find the ratio of M1 and M by M2 by the same way, by the same procedure. You get M1 by M2 equal to 1 by 8 as explained in the previous method. So initial part of the calculation, calculation of the ratio M1 by M2 up to there, it is the same procedure even in the alternate method. So here initial last of the first body is 0 because first body is initial at rest. So we are given the initial velocity of second body as 81 centimeter per second. You have to find the final velocity of the each ball after collision. So in any one-dimensional collision, you can write M1 V1 plus M2 V2 equal to M1 U1 plus M2 U2. So you can write M2 equal to 8 times M1 and U1 equal to 0. So you can take M1 common here on the left hand side. So M1 into V1 plus 8 V2 equal to 8 M1 into U2. So you get V1 plus 8 V2 equal to 8 U2. So we can first solve for V1 and V2 in terms of U2, and we can substitute the value of U2 in the final step. In a head-on means one-dimensional elastic collision, we can write V2 minus V1 equal to U1 minus U2. Here U1 is 0. So we can solve the equations 1 and 2 for V1 and V2 in terms of U1 and V2. So adding the equations 1 and 2. So V1 plus 8 V2 the left side of first equation plus V2 minus V1 you have on the left side of second equation. So 8 E2 plus minus U2. So you get 9 V2 equal to 7 U2 or V2 equal to 7 by 9 times U2 or 7 by 9 into 81 centimeter per second. So you get V2 equal to 63 centimeter per second. For finding V2, substitute this value of V2 in the first equation. You can substitute V2 equal to 63 centimeter per second in the first equation on the left hand side of the first equation, and substitute U2 equal to 81 centimeter per second on the right hand side of the first equation. And you can simplify this equation to find V1. You will get the same answer which I have given by the earlier method. In case you want to copy the solution by the alternate method also, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the alternate method. This alternate method is more preferable, particularly when you are solving the problem in the board examination. See the next question, question number 6. This problem also comes under one of the special cases which I have discussed in the theory of one-dimensional elastic collisions. I will once read out the question number 6. A moving particle of mass small m makes a head-on elastic collision with a particle of mass 2m, which is initially at rest. What fraction of the kinetic energy is lost by the colliding particle? So here you can observe that mass of the first particle is, the mass of the first particle is m1 is equal to m. Mass of second particle is 2m. That means m2 is 2 times m1. And second particle is initial at rest. As I discussed in one of the special cases, in one-dimensional elastic collisions, in the second special case in one-dimensional elastic collision, in a head-on elastic collision, if the second particle is initially at rest and mass of the one of the colliding particles is n times the mass of the other particle, then fractional decrease in kinetic energy of the first particle, which is transferred to second particle, given by 4n by n plus 1 whole square. Here we compare this equation with this. Here n is equal to 2. Mass of second particle is 2 times the mass of first particle. So you can substitute n equal to 2 here. So you get 8 by 3 square or 8 by 9. That's the answer. So in case you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution. But you are not supposed to solve the problem by this method in case you are given the same problem or similar problem in board examination. You can follow this method for objective type of examination to solve faster. I would like to discuss the alternate method also, which you are supposed to follow in case you are given similar problem in the board exam. And the alternate method, is better to know the alternate method also, because some of you may not be able to remember or recollect this particular result I have discussed for n by n plus 1 whole square. So next I am going to discuss the same problem by the alternate method. So in a head-on elastic, here the initial velocity of second body is 0, u2 is 0, m1 equal to m, m2 equal to m here. So in any one-dimensional collision, you can write m1 v1 plus m2 v2 equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Here m1 is m, m2 is 2m. u2 is 0, therefore second term on the right side becomes 0. So if you divide the equation with mass m, you get v1 plus 2v2 equal to u1. So in a head-on elastic collision, we can write v2 minus v1 equal to u1 minus u2. Here u2 is 0. So we have to eliminate v2 from the two equations, because to find the fractional decrease in the kinetic energy of the first particle, you have to know the ratio of the v1 and u1. For that you have to eliminate v2. So you can substitute the value of v2 from the second equation to the first equation. So our V2 can be written as VU1 plus V1. We substitute the value of V2 from second equation to the first equation. So V1 plus 2 into U1 plus V1 equal to U1. So you can solve for V1 here. So V1 plus 2U1 plus 2V1 equal to U1. So 3V1 equal to U1 minus 2U1. Or you get V1 equal to minus U1 by 3. That means after collision, the first particle collides. First particle rebounds back with 1/3 of its original speed. So ratio of the final kinetic energy and initial kinetic of the first particle. Let K subscript I denote the initial kinetic of the first particle before collision. Kf denote the final kinetic of the first particle after collision. So final kinetic of the first particle after collision equals half mv1 square. Initial kinetic energy of the first particle just before collision is half mu1 square. So that is v1 by u1 whole square. From here you can write v1 by u1 equal to minus 1 by 3. So minus 1 by 3 whole square, which will be equal to 1 by 9. So fractional decrease in the kinetic energy of the first particle of mass m1 equal actual decrease in the kinetic of the first particle divided by initial kinetic of the first particle. Actual decrease in the kinetic of the first particle is equal to Ki minus Kf. So this you can write Ki by Ki minus Kf by Ki. So Ki by Ki is 1, Kf by Ki is 1 by 9. So you get 8 by 9. That's the answer. So even if you want to copy the solution by the alternate method, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the solution by the alternate method. So see the next question, question number 7. A neutron collides head-on and elastically with an atom of mass number A, which is initially at rest. The fraction of the kinetic energy is retained by the neutron. Means you have to find the ratio of the final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy neutron. So mass m1 of the first particle, that is neutron, can be nearly taken to be nearly equal to 1 atomic mass unit. Mass m2 of the second nucleus nearly can be taken as equal to A atomic mass units. A is the mass number. Or m2 can be nearly taken as A times m1. This is of course an approximation which you can do for problems in classical physics, in Newtonian mechanics. The second particle is which has mass number A is initial at rest. So in a head-on elastic collision, if the second particle is initially at rest, then the final velocity of the first particle or neutron can be written as m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1. Here m2 is A times m1. So you can take m1 common here. Both in numerator and denominator. So you get V1 equal to 1 minus A by 1 plus A is equal to V1. Okay, A is understood to be greater than 1. So V1 is some negative scalar multiple of U1. That means after collision, neutron moves opposite to its initial direction of the motion, rebounds back. So V1 by U1, you can write 1 minus A by 1 plus A. That means part of the solution is similar to the earlier problem. Let Kf denote the final kinetic energy neutron just after collision. Ki denote the initial kinetic neutron before collision. That is final kinetic energy of neutron just after collision, half m1 v1 square. The initial kinetic energy neutron just before collision, you can write half m1 u1 square, which you can write v1 by u1 whole square. Or you can write 1 minus a by 1 plus a whole square. So rate of the final kinetic energy of neutron just after collision and its initial kinetic energy just before collision can be written as a minus 1 by a plus 1 whole square. That's the answer. In case you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for the question number 7, second, which I have just now discussed, second option will be the answer. See the question number 8. A sphere of mass small m moving with a velocity of magnitude v strikes a wall elastically moving toward the sphere with a velocity of magnitude u. The mass of the wall is infinitely large. The work done by the wall on the sphere during the collision will be. So you can apply the work energy theorem for the sphere to find the change in kinetic energy of sphere. That means the work done on the sphere by the wall can be taken as equal to change in the kinetic energy of sphere due to collision. Of course, total kinetic energy remains conserved in the elastic collision, but kinetic energy of first sphere or first body will change. So collision is given to elastic. The mass m2 is infinitely large. Here m1 is the mass of sphere, suppose, and u1 is the velocity of sphere. m2 is the mass of the wall, which is very large compared to the mass of sphere. So m1 is equal to small m. But velocity of the direction of the velocity of the wall before collision is opposite to the velocity of the ball. So if you give positive sign for u1, you have to give negative sign for u2 when you substitute the values of u1 and u2. And here m1 is negligibly small compared to m2. So if you can write here u1 equal to v and u2 equal to minus u, because it is given that the wall is moving towards the sphere with velocity of magnitude u. So mathematically you can take u2 to be minus u and u1 to be equal to v. So in a head-on elastic collision, here you can observe that m1 v1, or you can directly use direct expression. You can use v1 equal to, if you remember the direct expressions, we can solve faster. v1 equal to m1 minus m2y m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Here m1 is negligibly small compared to m2. So you can neglect m1 compared to m2 here. both in numerator and denominator. Can neglect m1 compared to m2. So you get v1 to be equal to minus u2 minus u1. v1 equal to minus u1 plus 2u2. Now I can write u1 equal to v here, u2 equal to minus u. That means magnitude of the velocity of the sphere just after collision is minus of v plus 2u. The negative sign indicates that the sphere moves opposite to its original direction of the motion after collision. Now we have to apply work energy theorem for the sphere. So work done on the sphere by the wall is equal to change in kinetic energy of the sphere. That is equal to half m into v1 square minus u1 square. Can substitute u1 equal to v here and v1 equal to minus of v plus 2u, or v1 square will be positive. So v1 square you can substitute v plus 2u whole square. u1 square can be written as v square. You can copy down the working if you want to copy the solution of the problem. And simplification, you can try to complete it yourself carefully. Next, I would like to discuss same problem by the alternate method also. Next, I would like to discuss the same problem by the alternate method. So I'd like to discuss the same question by the alternate method. This alternate method should be preferred in case you are given a similar problem for board exam, or the alternate method will be useful in case you are unable to recollect the equation for V1, which may look long for some of the students. So in any one-dimensional collision, you can write M1 V1 plus M2 V2 equal to M1 U1 plus M2 U2. Here M1 is negligibly small compared to M2. Therefore, you can neglect the terms containing M1 compared to M2 here on both sides. So you get V2 equal to U2. That means after collision, the wall continues to move in the same direction with its same velocity. Then in a head-on elastic collision, can write V2 minus V1 equal to U1 minus U2. Here V2 can be written as U2 here. Here the sphere is moving in one direction with velocity of magnitude V. The wall is moving in the opposite direction with velocity of magnitude U. So if you give positive sign for velocity of sphere, you have to give negative sign for initial velocity of the wall. So U2 will take it as minus U. U1 equal to V. So you can write here, you can substitute here V2 equal to U2 first on the left side. From this you get V1 equal to 2U2 minus U1. Simplify, solve this. Now substitute U2 equal to minus U, U1 equal to V. So velocity of the sphere after collision is equal to minus of 2U plus V. So again applying work energy theorem, work done on the sphere by wall is equal to change in the kinetic energy of sphere. That you can write change the kinetic energy of sphere equal to half m into square of the final velocity sphere minus square of the initial velocity sphere. That you can write half m into v1 square. Square of the velocity is positive. So you get 2u plus v whole square. u1 square you can write v square. This you can simplify it further. If you want to copy the solution of the problem with alternate method, you can take a pause and copy the solution with alternate method. So that gives you second option as the answer. You get 2mu into u plus v.